Yeah, son shit, y'all ready?
I hope y'all are. This episode, ooh-wee, woo, man, this episode is actually, it's quick, right? Well, the segment is quick, because it was Uranus, the planet that was actually called George. You know what I'm saying? That's the history. That's the history lesson. The planet was called George. Fall back for a minute. That's all I want y'all to do. Understand, at one point, the planet Uranus was called George. The way history rolls, baby. But anyway, we're here. And it's weird because the last couple of times have just been heavy. But it has to be heavy because where we are right now, the month's almost over. It's one more day. You know what I'm saying? We're rocking this on the 27th. I have to be honest. This did not feel like Black History Month at all. At all. And I don't know why, but I do know why. I don't know why, but I do know why. Like, there's so much going on that we kind of fell back. And salute to the people online. Salute to the people on social media. Salute to the people who have kept it alive to a degree. But we lost a lot. And if you know me, you know I've never been a fan of Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? Because growing up, pre-Obama, it was always Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, you know what I'm saying, George Washington Carver, you know what I'm saying? That was it. You know what I mean? That was kind of it. And Martin Luther King was the star. You know what I'm saying? There was no, you know, what's the Chris Rock joint? Everybody hates Chris with us. It was like the answer was always Martin Luther King. That's how I felt. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until you got, for me, 8th grade, and you started to be taught more. Like, I was aware of more, but to be taught in school more people. It wasn't until you got to high school, pop culture started to really expound. Okay, there's some other people out here we need to really focus on. And even then, it still was from the angle of the come up, the wanting to overcome. All the participants in the civil rights movement, Malcolm X, it was the Black Panthers. It was always still from the point of we're on the bottom trying to come up. It was never really just like, yo, Pete, son, he up. Let's talk about him. Shaka Zulu was the only African we knew about. And then Obama came. Then Obama replaced Martin Luther King. Frederick Douglass became a co-star all of a sudden. It was one of those things where you're just like, oh, this is it. So for me, Black history was never the cool thing. It was like, which is weird because, as you know, this is what we do. We do Black history. So it was like, I can talk about a million things, mass subjects and facts, but when the 28 days come, 29 on the annual, we get caught up into talking about the same people. And I just was like, I'm good on that. So I never liked Black History Month, but it doesn't feel like Black History Month. There's no vibes. There was no clothing out there in the open. There was no get downs. There was no nothing. You know what I'm saying? It felt, you know what I'm saying? And I get it. There was a whole lot going on. Since Trump took office, things have not been the same. This year just was this particular joint. It ain't rock right. You know what I mean? It ain't sit good with me, man. Speaking of Trump, the State of the Union. Man, look, somebody explain this to me. This dude stood in front of a bunch of people and still tried not to unify the country. But he spent crazy time literally just saying the same old. Nothing that sounded like it was trying to unify the country. It was still, we're good, they're bad. Look at all the great stuff that's going on that nobody can actually say that they're going through. Nobody is like, yeah, son, it's been straight the last couple of months. Yeah, he doing a good job. Nobody's saying that. Speaking of healthcare, Shorty said, I want y'all to pay more into it. Hold on. We got to pull it up. Because me saying it ain't enough. I can't even begin to say it the way she said. I want y'all to hear the way she said it, because this This is crazy, son. The way she said it is off the chain. So we got to pull it up. Here comes another one of those audio clips of audio clips. You know how we do. We audio clip you to death. My bad. Here we go.
You need to have a system that does both, takes care of you when you're ill and you're sick, but also incentivizes you to adopt healthy behaviors that keep you healthier and keep you out of the hospital. When there is a copay and a deductible, there's some skin in the game. Patients don't overutilize, and they're more likely to adopt healthy behaviors.
Now, all that sounds good. Here's the thing. If y'all know me, y'all know this is how I feel. We let people say anything on these podcasts with no real rebuttal. There's only like a handful of people that actually say something back. Shannon Sharp, and more so Shannon Sharp, if you say anything that remotely sounds like you're saying something disparaging against LeBron James, he definitely steps in and go, hey, hold on. And it's just, like I said, it's a handful of people that say something. This man let her say all that without countering. Because I see her point. It's not hard to see her point. If you live a healthy life, you shouldn't need health care, supposedly, right? In a real world. Now tell that to the parents who have children who are sick, who have children who are disabled, who have children who have developed a sickness, have children who have gotten injured or hurt, have parents who are now getting sick. You know what I'm saying? Because with age comes certain sicknesses and ailments. You know what I mean? Cancer doesn't care how healthy you are. Cancer does not care about how many reps you pull up, how many times you jog, how many miles you do this, how much you swim, how much you bench, your dietary get down. It doesn't. It happens. Healthy people get cancer like obese people get cancer. Like black people get cancer, like white people get cancer, like Asian people get cancer. Cancer doesn't care. You know what I'm saying? COVID hit. There's people who still have to live with breathing conditions. What are you penalizing them for not dying? Is that what we're saying? To go, yo, you need to go broke trying to stay alive. It's madness. No, we're supposed to be the joint, right? We're supposed to be that country. We're supposed to be top dog. And there's places supposedly not even on our level that have the basic decency, of affordable health care to universal health care. We got you. The country has you. You pay into it. Then you get all these foods going, well, how you pay for it? Tax money. Oh, that's adding more taxes. It's never adding more taxes. You take a percentage of what is already being taken out anyway, and it goes to the get down. What about people who ain't got no job? What about your children? Your children ain't working? Oh, you comparing my children to the homeless man? I'm not comparing your children to the homeless man. What I'm saying is, if you really want to be real, we can figure out something to stop homelessness too, if we chose to. See what I'm saying? That's the whole thing. When you start talking about one thing, it opens the door to the fact that we have enough money to fix that too, if we so choose to. Well, some people want to be homeless. Then them the ones that'll just get left behind. Them the ones that I guess we'll figure something else out for you. But for the people who don't want to be, this is what we're going to do for you. This is how we're going to make sure life gets better for you. You know what I mean? Now, for you, that's that. Which now, those people are working. Those people are now putting aside their taxes. They have a percentage of their taxes going towards this thing. Boom, boom, boom. We have the money. And we have the money off top. If you've ever seen our defense budget, the money we spend on just trying to come up with weapons that we'll never use, weapons that have now been made, vehicles, aircraft that has been made and just sitting somewhere because we couldn't get into a war. We've been itching to test this joint out and we just useless. You know what I'm saying? The director of the FBI that went out to Italy on our dime, our money. Nobody's huffing and puffing about that. Your governor, your mayor, the senators, if they go to Super Bowls and all-star get-downs and this, that, and the third on our dime. They live off of our dime. That's our money. That's our tax money that houses them. That's our tax money that when they go, I'm taking my kid to this school. We're paying for their children. You can't even, you're up here huffing about, man, shoot, I can't even pay for school lunch. You done paid for this kid's whole tuition to go to this other school because they work for the government. That's tax money. We paid for that. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, there's some undercover joints sliding through here, and they got their own little budget, and they boom, 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 the third. At the end of the day, their budget, their salaries is us. We pay them. The same people who like to huff and puff when the cop gets too crazy for them. Man, I pay your salary. You pay theirs too. You pay theirs too. All of them politicians. Everybody from City Hall to Capitol Hill. The janitor, the dude who cut the grass. If it's on the government's dime, you're paying theirs too. So if we have that kind of money to spend, we could come up with something for healthcare. We just choose not to. You know what I'm saying? No, let me take that back. We don't choose not to. We allow the government to make us think there is no choice. We allow Big Pharma to bring the lobbyists in and go, hey, dog, don't let them think they have a choice. We had that choice. We've always had that choice. We don't vote the right people in. Here's the wild part. Here's the crazy part. I'm about to make a wild joint. I saw something the other day, and the brother said, Gen X, why y'all ain't running for nothing? Ain't no Gen X presidents. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, son? Y'all dropped the ball. All the presidents have been boomers. Obama on the bottom end of it. Like, he closer to the Gen X, but he's still a late bloomer boomer. You know what I mean? Where y'all at? What y'all doing, son? First and foremost, there's a couple of things that need to be said. You have to be 35 as the minimum age to run for president. So, your Gen X doesn't even get to put their foot into the game until Obama's about to run. You know what I'm saying? That's just it. Now, you take that in consideration. Obama was the cool dude. Obama was the dude who had his ear to the streets. Remember Obama? Obama was the dude giving you Jay-Z verses, harmonizing and giving you Al Green songs. He was out here telling you how Jordan was dope. He liked LeBron. He did this and that and the third. You know what I'm saying? He was that dude. You know what I'm saying? That was D-Nice was the DJ at the inaugural ball. You know what I'm saying? They up here like, call me D-Nice. My name is D-Nice. That's them. That's them. They were the cool ones. They were who Gen X voted for overwhelmingly. That was them. He was that guy. He was our generation's guy. Matter of fact, he was supposed to open the door to the youth movement. Whether you remember it or not, Obama becomes president. A lot of the old people started to fade away. The next primary for the Republican side, there was a lot of people trying to get the younger people in. They wanted to get younger people in. You know what I'm saying? You looked up and that was the whole get down, right? Bobby Jindal was a young person. You know what I'm saying? What's your man over there in Florida? The Rubio, Mark Rubio, younger guy. The youth movement was the get down. But what happened was when the smoke cleared, you went with the old reliable. You went back with what your granddaddy and them would go for. Because at the end of the day, that's what politics is. Sad to tell you that when it's all said and done, tradition always wins. That's why the presidents look the way they look. Now, when you go again, because as he said, it was all boomers, nobody was going to get that except for Clinton. Because he went back. He was like Clinton, George W., Obama, Trump, Biden, and Trump. Boo, boo, boo. He had his whole get down ready. Clinton, Biden, Trump, George W. could have all went to the same high school. Obviously, some people would have been freshmen and other people would have been seniors, but they could have all went to the same high school. They were all around the same age. But what he seems to not understand is in 92, Clinton was the youth movement. In 92, Clinton was Obama. Clinton was the cool dude. He the dude playing the saxophone with the band on the Arsenio Hall show. He the dude going, I cannot tell a lie, I ain't never puffed no marijuana. And everybody like, go ahead, bro, you playing. You super smooth like this with your jazz and your saxophone and you ain't never puff pass? Don't play with me, B. Don't play with me, B. He was out here trying to be the woman's man. He was the cool dude. Nobody was beating him. Nobody was beating him in his primary. Nobody. And the fact that he was against a lot of stuff that George Bush was, Senior, G-Dub, it was like, oh yeah, we gonna ride with him. Out with the old, because that Bush represented what Reagan was doing and all of them old dudes. He was the new dude. Clinton, was the youth. What happened? He runs again and he ends up going against another old dude. That's all the Republicans had, were old dudes. You know what I'm saying? The scandal comes up, the Monica Lewinsky joints and all these ugly bras that he was out here banging. And they go, yo, we gonna pivot. But guess who comes in next? George W. And George W. gets the presidency for being what? The cool guy. He's the guy that you would drink a beer with. He was that dude. He was the cool dude that the Republicans was like, yo, why? Because they looked over and was like, my man Al Gore don't seem cool. Al Gore's the right guy. Al Gore says all the right things. Al Gore moves the right way. Al Gore is about his business. That's the cool dude. We want the cool guy. I like the way he smiles. I like the way he walks. I like the fact that he messes up the most easiest phrases. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. He would just mess everything up. Boom. So he gets his 2 terms because the next time he runs against another older dude who was in Vietnam. And somehow he psychologically turned the guy who was bringing a whistleblower in Vietnam into the villain versus the draft dodger. The guy who didn't go to Vietnam gets to tell the dude who was there, saw some messed up stuff, spoke out, that he's the wrong guy. And by the way, he's like, yo, I know what's going on with this whole 9/11 thing and this war on terror. Let me finish this job up. Let me do what I do. And he dropped the ball again. He dropped the ball in 9/11. He dropped the ball in general. There was we had Hurricane Katrina. There was so much stuff going on. We couldn't wait to get him out the office. Any Democrat would have beaten any Republican because the point was, we're not going to let y'all continue doing what you're doing. But guess who came along? Thanks to what he said during the Democratic National Convention, where he said it's not a blue America, it's not a red America, we're all one. Let's unify. We are the United States. It don't matter where you're from. It don't matter what race you are. It don't matter what religion. And that was such a great sentiment that Obama became a rock star instantly. And somebody got in his ear, better strike while the iron is hot, bro. They love you. See if you can be president. Now, around this time, as he is thinking about it, Will Smith is quoted saying, I'm so popular and popping right now that I could run for president and possibly win. Well before Trump says it. Will Smith said it. And people thought, yo, I'd vote for Will Smith. No, Will Smith ain't got nothing going on. Will Smith don't know. Will Smith don't know nothing. But, he's cool. We already did it twice. And we did it a third time. The cool dude won it a third time. When you feeling like a pimp, go on, brush your shoulders off. That's what he was saying to the haters when they had the comments. He just brushed his shoulders off. And we love that. We was like, yeah, son, yeah. All the white girls who had crushes on black dudes was like, he's like my boyfriend, but he's gonna be president. He's so cool. Yay. Black people liked him because he spoke bars and his wife was black, so black women liked it even more. Like, yes, and he got a sister on his arm and they got some beautiful black babies. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it was a no-brainer. Nobody in that primary was going to even begin to touch Obama. And the one person who had that shot was Hillary. Hillary, who's basically was like, yo, remember me? I'm the first lady of the last cool president that we had. We got y'all out of stuff. My man he ain't got the experience. Holla at me. And we was like, nah, we're good. This is it. This is gonna change America. That was what we was doing back in 2008. We wanted to change the culture of America. This was the turning stone that Martin Luther King was talking about, Malcolm X was talking about, Medgar Evers was talking about. This was the joint that Jesse Jackson been speaking about. This was the joint that Al Sharpton been speaking about. This was the point in time where we're going to make that change. You know what I'm saying? All the videos on MTV. Who running MTV? All the black artists. You know what I'm saying? Who always supposed to be the sexiest person alive? All the black artists. White girls is out here splashing when they see Morris Chestnut. Oh, that chocolate, man. Squish, squish, squish. It was inevitable. We knew the bars, whether it's 50 Cent, whether it's Kanye, whether it's Jay-Z, whether it's Lil Wayne, you know what I mean? Lil Jeezy. Anybody with a Lil at that time named Shorty, it didn't matter. White people knew the songs. It was inevitable. It was going to be Obama. He was who Gen X was like, boom, you're going to be the reason America changes its position. We were totally wrong, by the way. Totally wrong. He was the reason why everything just got heightened, and it was like, no, we are not making that change. Pull it back. Nope. Everything became super racist all of a sudden, and boom, 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 bip. So much so that when his 8 years was up, they needed a new person. Now it's time for Hillary. Hillary's like, okay, now it's my time. Cool, we just had a black president. Let's take it a step further, y'all. We're gonna have a woman president. Boom, let's do that, B. Yeah. And the Republicans were like, hold on. Y'all out here voting the cool dudes all the time. We got a cool dude too. Former TV star. You know what I'm saying? Will Smith said it. Man, I think if I ran for president, I could possibly win. Trump gonna try to see if it can really be done. Nah, we can do this. No political experience at all. At all. Now, you go over here to the Democratic Party during that time, it was a lot of youth. Same thing with the Republicans. There were younger people, but you still had the old guard. You still had Jeb Bush. You know what I'm saying? You still had some old people still trying to hold it down. And then you had Mark Rubio. I think Ted Cruz ran that time too, right? You had some youth. You go Bobby Jindal. I think Bobby Jindal tried to run around that time, right? They shut Bobby Jindal down quick. Bobby Jindal ain't have a chance. Yeah, Bobby Jindal ran around that time. That was your youth. It's like, boom, what do you go with? The person who should have got it over Obama the first time, and then she's trying to get in. It's like, okay, yeah, let's see what happens. This is going to be it. We had a black one, we're going to have a woman. Or this brand new, never been tested TV star, bad businessman, where we going to go? And the country went with him. Now, if you do the general election, he still won it. He won the whole joint. He became that guy. And what happened when he became that guy is, when you look back at the Democrats, it became old people again. It became all old people again. That is what happened. Old white people again. Now, if you want to go, we messed up on something, that might be the time you can go, we messed up. But the problem was, nobody felt they could beat him. You couldn't be young and untested. They already told you what they think. They don't care. That's why they voted him in. He had no experience. So this youth movement would have just got demolished. He don't even know nothing. Look, he only like 30 something. He only like 40 something. He don't know nothing. He don't got no real, no, son. Trump would have doubled up then. But we bring in an old guy who was the vice president of the last cool guy, so he gets the cool points off of that alone. Boom. He becomes president. All of the noise gets pushed to the side because everything is focused on Trump. Trump was out here campaigning as soon as he lost. The whole 4 years he was campaigning. I know I told y'all because we was doing this during that time. I don't even understand why they hold on the primary. It's just for show. He's the guy. He's the candidate. He wasn't even showing up to the primaries and he was the candidate winning the whole way through. Why? Because it had nothing to do with coolness. They felt he got jerked. Vengeance. Then what we try to do is, okay, yeah, Biden's too old. Let's bring in Harris. She gonna be cool. And she messed up. She messed up because then she did the unthinkable. She had Megan Thee Stallion twerking on the joint. There's a show called She-Hulk. And if you look up She-Hulk or you ask anybody who saw She-Hulk, one of the main things they're gonna tell you is, man, she was on that joint twerking with Megan Thee Stallion. That was who our president-to-be, our president in running, our presidential candidate was out here promoting this. And it's like, nah, that ain't a good look. So you already lost a lot of people. The youth movement amongst black men and even older black men, the mentality all of a sudden became, y'all ain't gonna just keep throwing somebody in the way and go in front of us and go, yeah, vote for them. Not on this one, B. Time out. Nah, I don't understand. Nah, not on this one. They moved over to the side, or they didn't vote at all. So yes, if you want to go, there was two that we dropped the ball on. As far as Gen X goes, not trying to get in the mix, those are the 2 points. Those are your two moments right there, right? That's where you come in and you can go, yeah, we dropped the ball on that a little bit. But the other side of it is, Harris was like Obama, was on the back end of being a boomer, so she was closer to Gen X. You know what I'm saying? Because if you pulled up them joints of her back in school, she had them earrings on, she had that haircut. She looked like she probably would get in a couple of fights with you. I seen them hair. That's the haircut of a shorty back in the day. Yeah, she throw hands. They throw hands. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, yeah, we dropped the ball, but who was our candidates going to be? You look at what we got going on right now. The youth movement is they're devouring themselves because politics is Highlander. I don't know if y'all understand. There could only be one. You got that thing you got going on in Texas right now, and it has to only be one of them. Both of them are great candidates, but it can only be one. And if I had to be honest, and I'm hearing a lot of people talk about the way that they're treating Jasmine Crockett, the Democratic Party, it says a lot. It says a lot. And that's the thing, too, for the people who go, well, what was Gen X? At the end of the day, Obama was in the right place at the right time. Clinton was in the right place at the right time. George W. was in the right place at the right time. Trump was in the right place at the right time. Biden was different. Biden was the thing where they were like, we really don't know who we can even match up against Trump. That was strategic. You see what I'm saying? That was strategic. Trump becoming president again was vengeance, was payback. You know what I'm saying? Was retaliation. Those are different joints. Like the last two get downs, Biden and Trump again, those were different. And all of a sudden, and I'm still in Texas, by the way, Jasmine Crockett being the cooler person is irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? Here's the wild part about Jasmine Crockett's situation. Up until she said, yo, I'm gonna run for the senator joint, we heard about, she was the face of the Democratic Party. She was the face. If Marjorie Greene Taylor was the face for the Republicans and Ted Cruz, Jasmine Crockett and Cortez, AOC, were the face of the Democratic Party. Hands down. Those were the faces of the Democrats. One of those people go, yo, I'm going to take this next step up. I'm about to be on my senator game. Everybody, yo, my man right here about to run. Word. Yeah, let's ride with him. And they just left her out in the cold. Like, all of a sudden, she's not anywhere. How did we get to that point where you're the face of the Democratic Party, and then when you go, yo, I'm going to take this next step, I don't think that's you. I don't think that's you. Here's something I'm going to say. I'm going to say it right now. I had a class, a business class, and the guy who came in said some of the greatest stuff that I always keep in my mind. And one of those things he said was, employers see you, and they've already put you in a box. They've already gave you a ceiling. It's easier to disappoint and fall out of grace than it is for you to exceed their expectations, because they've already put you in that position. They've already went, oh, I can't see you as a supervisor. Oh, I can't see you as a manager. Oh, I can't see you as this, that, and the third. This is where I want to keep you. I want to keep you right here. You know what I'm saying? I can't let you move up. I got to keep you right here. No matter what you're doing. And again, as a man, forget black man, as a man, I remember growing up hearing my pops talk about it, my mom talk about it, uncles, aunts talk about it. And then my very first job, Brook Ridge Apartments, Drucker and Falk property. I was only there for 1 year. And I watched 5 different supervisors while I was there. When I got there, it was a fat white guy. He bounced like 2 months in. Then we got a weird white guy. I think he was only there for like maybe a month. At some point, we had a black guy who lasted. He got there spring going into summer. No, I got there by spring. So I got there around March, February-ish, March. So by June, he was there. July, he was gone. August or September, we got another guy. By Christmas, a little around Christmas, we got a guy named Gil. Gil was still there when I was fired. Only place I've ever been fired from, too, by the way. That's a whole nother thing. Gil was there when I was fired. Those gaps, there was a black man named Shorty. Kind of, to me, looked like Terry Porter a little bit. And he had this Eddie Murphy energy. You know what I'm saying? He joked a lot. He you know what I'm saying? He was an older gentleman. You could tell he was Southern, and he had that vibe about him. He joked. He always had something wise crack to say. He slacked off, or he allowed slacking off to happen. But when he had to be the interim supervisor, it's one of those things people took it upon themselves to go, one, I gotta step it up because I don't want my man to look bad. We were all hoping that at some point they go, we're just gonna give it to you. Here you go. This is yours. Do with it what you want to do. We got you. They never did. And I remember, because the gap between the one guy and Gil was massive. It was a massive gap. It was like a 2-3 month joint. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the other guy, they had the black guy came in around June, and he was gone by July. August, they had another guy, and he only was there till like September. October, November, the back end of December going into January, Gil comes. At no point in time did they tell that man you could have this position. At no point in time, and we were straight. We were good. Like I said, my man, the jokes weren't there too much more. You know, hey, boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? He was on top of everything. Hey, man, he on the walkie all the time. Hey, yo, make sure you get the boom, this apartment here. Boom, 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 this has to be done. Boom, 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 this has to be done here. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? He was on top of it. On top of it. Now, when the supervisors came back, he fell back into jokey joke mode, cool dude mode. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, man, this is what we gonna do. When he had to step in and be that, he was that. And they never said, yo, son, here the keys. This is yours. Because they had already gave this man a box. They had already put him in a place where, yo, we will never see you beyond that. And that's where you are right now with Jasmine and Crockett. They couldn't fathom that. They couldn't. And they just showed it. Because my man comes around and they go, yo, my man over here about to run. And they ride with him. You have not really seen her get it in on a national level. For real, for real. My man was supposed to have been on the Colbert Show. She was everywhere at one point. She was the face. Now what? You see what I'm saying? And when I see stuff like that, I instantly go back to my first experience of seeing that play out and going, ooh, this is what that is. Which, by the way, that whole, I don't know what you call that, presentation that this former bigwig at a company said, I take all of that and I see everything on a business scale totally different, because everything he said plays out the way he said it. And I don't know if they're teaching this in school and they're doing workshop classes for people of certain levels to, and this is how you go about this is how you diffuse stuff. Like watching him say, this is what they do, this is what they say, boom, boom, bippity bop. This is how you go about when you go to apply for a job. This is what you say about your wages. This is what you do about boom, boom, bip. And all of that. And I just was like, yo, that's crazy, B. And so when I go out and about, when I'm around stuff and I see stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's playing out right now. Oh yeah, that's how that played out. Ooh, I see that. It's rare that I see something that goes against what I was told that day. I done talked myself up into a whole fizzy, man. I was about to, you know what I mean? But what we got going on? What are we talking about? Look, see, that's how you know you George. Uranus used to be George. Uranus used to be George. I feel like, and no disrespect, I feel like if men and women do name their private parts, like my coochie name such and such, my penis's name such and such, do gay dudes name their butt? Yes, I call my butt Peter Fonda. You know what that means? No, that was a movie in the 60s called Easy Rider. I'm sorry. Hey. Anyway, man. Just a thought. I mean, because, you know, dudes will, yeah, man, I call my joint Big Willie. I call my joint Anaconda. I call my joint, you know what I mean? They all kind of names. Just names out of nowhere. Yeah, son, I call my joint Sammy Sosa because I'm always hitting home runs, son. Boop, boop. It's yeah, I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? Word. I call my joint Gonzo because it got like a bend to it. Like Gonzo's nose. You're like, ugh. Would you tell somebody that? Like, out here, hey, could you imagine a shorty getting mad at you? And that's when she bring out the cut in public. I can't stand your black. Oh, faucet penis. Huh? Faucet penis? Penis cricket. Yo, Gonzo nose penis. Oh, man, dog. Hey, whatever, man. Why you gotta put my business out here like that? Don't nobody care. Ain't nobody gonna actually look at your penis. Oh, penis, just depressed penis. He got a snuffleupagus penis. Oh, just. Oh, God, she broke. I thought it was broke the first time I saw it. I was like, why your penis been like that? Is that normal? Ugh. Here's the wild part. Women will talk about a brother's penis all day in hateful manners. Men, we can't do that back to at no point. We don't, no matter how, if you are a woman and we get in an argument, we can't say nothing. You got a crazy eye, like, and yeah, no, you gonna look at me, and push the crazy eye over here too. Don't make me step to the side and look at your other eye. Like, we can't say that because it's a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother thing. Shorty got a big forehead, you get in an argument and you pop it one time. Bloop. Hey, I know you heard me. You can't do that. You wait till she take the stuff off her hair, you take a wig and make some off. Oh, bald headed mother. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Act like you see? That's what I'm talking about. You go, out here looking like Whoopi Goldberg in Color Purple. Why you gotta play me like that? Nah, I'm just saying. We don't do that. Lopsided breasts, one breast bigger than the other. Droopy nipples. We don't do that. We just argue about the facts. You know what I mean? Nah, I'm just saying, you knew what I was gonna do, and I just can't stand that, man. I can't stand you. And we keep it pushing. Always doing something, and we keep it pushing. Shorty's getting an argument. I can't stand you. You big feet mother. God dang, for real? Big nose mother. What? That's why you ain't even got no teeth in the back of your mouth? What? How did we get here? What did you? And I'm tired of having to work around all the fake hair, paint that's all up in the shower, your bald head mother. Just go bald. Michael Jordan bald, he attractive. That's probably why. And I see you be out here taking pictures trying to look cool. If they only knew when you couldn't go outside in the rain. Like, God dang, for real? Looking at the basketball and see Jaylen Brown leaving stains on people's jerseys. Look, that's like your goofy butt right there. Look at that. You don't go ahead and just cut all that off. We ain't even arguing there. I ain't got to argue with you, to be honest. That's stupid. We see that. You see that. Let that go. Anyway, what was I about to say? We leaving right now. Not leaving, but you know what I'm saying? We get into the segment. Like I said, it's a short segment. George. Ooh, hey, look, hold on. Planet Geroge is my place of origin. What? Rakim would have killed it. If this was George, if this planet was George, planet Earth, this is my place of birth, he would have been like, Planet Geroge, that's my place of origin. Boom. Woo. I'm playing. Salute to the God Rakim. Let's get into it. Planet Geroge, man. One time for your mind. Let's do it. Yes. Hey, look. We forgot about that. We forgot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all that jiggy stuff that the Locks was doing with Puff. We forgot about that. We forgot about, you give them the right get down, they gonna get down. They gonna make it happen. The Locks, look, you know what I mean? Like after all of that shiny suits and all that, but at the end of the day, them boys was hot. Always a problem. You know what I mean? This is what we do. This is how we get down. Where we at right now? Word. Yeah, where we at? We got a whole joint right here. We got a whole big old. Look, I had to stop myself. Cause I was about to say pausable stuff. We got a lot of stuff to do. Y'all hear what the music doing. So let's do it like this. Take it from the top. This moment in white people's history. And if you know me, you know how we do. Star Wars, you know what I mean? Star Trek, all the stars, and the planets abroad. Y'all know who it is. Yeah, sun, moon, stars. But here's the thing. The planets were always named after Greek mythology, right? Mercury, Venus, Mars, all that, right? It was Saturn, all that. Then came, as we go, 1781, something different happened. William Herschel was out here and he discovered a planet. He was like, yo, this is a dope little planet. You know what I mean? What do we call it? What do we call this planet that we just found? My man said, we gonna go against something totally different. Nah, we gonna go against something totally different. He wanted to name the planet after King George, you know what I mean, the third. And he was like, yo, Georgimus Sodomus, which was George's star. And they was like, you know what I mean? It was alright, you know, for the Georgian planet. It was basically like, yo, I want to do this for King George. We're going to do it for King George. You know what I mean? Now, many other astronomers was like, nah, we gonna call it. I mean, if you out here doing anything else with it, and instead of this whole joint where we do it with the mythic joints, let's do it after you, man. Herschel. We gonna call the joint Herschel. This planet Herschel. You know what I mean? And it was like, oh, okay. That's wild. You know what I mean? But to think that the planet started out being called, you know what I'm saying, Planet George. Like, yeah, Saturn, George. Hey, there's George. Like, just out of the blue. It's just a regular random dude's name. And then there's George. You know what I mean? So it was like, oh, okay. Is that what we doing? We doing it like that? Alright. Word. If you say so. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is what it was, you know what I'm saying? And at some point, we was like, nah, we not calling that George. They were like, we ain't gonna do that. And they gave it Uranus. You know. Now, one of the moons are still have all that non-mythical stuff, mythology. Yeah. But yeah, man, this is what we do. Look, see, this was white history that wasn't crazy with racism or anything. You know how sometimes you gotta tone it down, man. Sometimes you gotta have it can't always be gangster. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like, remember, like there's still people out here that don't know Ice Cube and Snoop Dogg and Ice-T were dangerous individuals. Flavor Flav was part of a dangerous organization called Public Enemy. You know how crazy that is sometimes when you stop and think about? Bring the beat back. We lived through the time frame when Snoop Dogg was like hands down the most dangerous dude on the planet. Now he's Uncle Snoop to millions of everybody. Everybody loves Snoop. You see Snoop at the Winter Olympics, it ain't even just Americans hugging on Snoop. It's just random old foreign ladies. Snoopy Doggy! They hug him. He just hug him back like, hey. They grabbing that stuff like, hey, whoa. 30 years ago, I bust you off something proper. You know what I mean? I ain't talking with the blammy either. You know what I'm saying? Look at you. I can tell you probably was cracking back about 30 years ago. Back up, mama. Back up. You know what I mean? But that was that. You know what I mean? Who else? What? Flavor Flav. Yeah, it's a lot of. It's weird sometimes when you think about that. Ice-T had people really out here trying to kill him for cop killer. Now he's a cop, and everybody love him. Everybody loves him. Hip hop. Only hip hop makes dope transitions like that. Andrew Dice Clay, Pee Wee Herman before he passed, they might have flipped a little bit, but hip hop continuously, all the time. Love the culture, man. Love it. This is why because you grow, and they got to grow with us, and they forgave us. Like, oh, that was them back in the day. They're not those same people anymore. T.I., Jay-Z, you know what I mean? I think about all the wild individuals. You know what I mean? Mystical is the only one still knuckleheading out here. Like, Mystical get out of jail and go right back. Like, dog, come on, man. What's wrong with you? Anyway, let's get into this music because we got a few more minutes left. Rest in peace, the Biz Marquee. Yes, that's. Look, see? Hold on. Blessed. Yeah, I'm gonna get ready to slide up out of here because y'all can hear what I heard. But we're gonna do it like this: 1 time for the mind, 2 times for the body, 3 times for the spiritual. But after the party, got to go to the party, got to go. Green light, red light, please don't slow down. Yellow light, I'm the mellow type. I say hello, right? I'm playing. I can't look. How about if I say it from back here? I'm playing. Nah, y'all can still hear it. But anyway, 1 to the 2 to the 1 to the 2 to the Moesha. They say you only live once. That's a lie. You only die once. So anytime that your God allows you to get out here and continue your journey, please show the world the best version of you. Y'all be safe. Peace.
This is a Soul of Art presentation.